Good day, everybody. My name is Behruz Hamzaev. I'm the founder of World Influencers Network. This is quite interesting times. This is very surreal times. We see 3 billion people, almost half of the world is sitting at home because of the coronavirus COVID-19. A lot of countries are taking severe measures. A lot of countries are taking measures that 2 months ago they were criticizing, calling them draconian. Now they have to apply in their daily routine because this, it turns out to be the best way to combat upcoming epidemic. There are many information on the web. As a matter of fact, coronavirus COVID-19 is world's one of the most searched illnesses ever. There are more than 1.5 billion search results, and in social media there is so many information. So we decided, because there was so much information out there, we decided that we as an organization, I'm going to introduce my partner, and my partner is going to talk about what kind of organization we're representing in a little while. So we decided that it's a time to create a platform where we can, using our network, very wide network, bring down specialists and speakers who can boil down, who can just bring the information and tell us what is going on and what is going to happen. And not only in a medical aspect of the problem, but economical aspect, business aspect, tourism, policy, government, education, you name it. Because the world is not going to be the same anymore. We need to adjust our expectations to reality, and we have to just pivot our lifestyle, our business, and everything. So basically, in this conversation, we are going to open up why we came up with this idea and why we're doing it. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you one of my dearest friends. He is my partner in crime. We've been known each other for almost a decade for now. We've been doing many interesting initiatives. We're going to talk about those initiatives in a while. My dearest friend, co-founder of World Influencers Network, co-founder of Future University of the Future, another project of ours, Daniel Zaretsky. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you, Behruz. I appreciate it. Behruz also, as you say, my closest partner in crime here. And I'm talking to you right now from New York.
Yes, and I'm here in Tashkent. So we're basically in the parallel, in the almost the other side of the planet. Exactly. Which also it was another idea of art, is that one country, one opinion doesn't mean anything. So we'd like to funnel down, we'd like to create a sandbox of ideas, information, technologies, innovations, and anything related to COVID-19 fight. So that was the essence of our commitment, the cosmopolitan approach to a problem, to say. So Daniel is from the hotspot in New York, and I'm in Tashkent, the other side of the world, and we decided to connect and use all our networks, all our friendship, all the people we could possibly reach out to bring to a conversation table. And I think you, Daniel, and I, we did pretty good job. We almost have brought, I think we sent out more than 200 emails. We reached out to more than 200 people, and out of them we picked up almost 30 of them. And up to now, we've been conducting those interviews, and we are really good. We're almost done with this. But let's talk, Daniel. Let's talk about, first of all, let's let people know what we're doing and what organizations we represent. Then we're going to jump on the World Coronavirus Virtual Conference. So I was describing everybody that we represent. I'm the founder of World Influencers Network, and Daniel here is the co-founder. So Daniel, why don't you go ahead and tell people what is World Influencers Network?
Great. Well, I mean, as you could see, besides Behruz being, a super close friend, You can see his energy and his drive, and this is why I like to work with him. And I recognize his office in Tashkent. I've been there many times, and I'd actually like to be back in Central Asia right now because we have a lot of initiatives. But that's actually where we're working from. So I'm actually from New York originally, but I've worked in Central Asia. Some people call the stands. For many years, starting in the 90s in Kyrgyzstan, for the last number of years in Tajikistan, and as we could joke, a long-running plan to move to Uzbekistan. So, but right now, of course, I'm home in New York, writing this out. So basically, we've been working on a lot of innovation projects for, as Behruz said, we've known each other for a lot of years. And we've closely collaborated. And one of these projects that we worked on was this World Influencers Network. So, for example, you know, we gathered, we have a database of thousands of influencers out there. And this past summer, for example, using the home base of Uzbekistan, we reached out to loads of influencers. I think we brought about 100 influencers from 40 countries to Uzbekistan in August, which, by the way, is a very hot. But who cares when you can see Bukhara, Samarkand, and Khiva, which are the classic Silk Road cities, which I, in all my years in the region, had ever seen, and also the capital, Tashkent, which I think is an extremely underrated city. And so we brought these influencers around. We let them total freedom. They went out to shoot wherever they wanted to shoot, what content they wanted to shoot, how they wanted to do it. And we also managed to get the president of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, to come to meet the bloggers in Samarkand. And he actually did a little welcome speech, and he did a nice selfie with the bloggers. And this content has been posted on YouTube and all kinds of other platforms and has millions of views. And so this is something that why we came up with this, because, well, we're starting with our home base of Uzbekistan, but we were also hoping, and this is a key point that we'll get to in a second, we were hoping to, of course, continue doing this in Uzbekistan, reach other regions of Uzbekistan as well, but to bring this to other countries, other events, other regions. And we were in talks with some other countries about doing it this year, actually. And these are, you know, countries that this works in two ways. Of course, it's countries that maybe don't get a lot of publicity in general, and they want this. But even the established tourism hotspots, if they want to reach a new generation, if they want to reach new ways of coming out to and reaching their message to a younger generation, a new generation, a new way of doing things. So, of course, with the coronavirus, we were close to locking up another country or two. And so what happened here? This happened. So, of course, for now, we're just saying for now that we won't, you know, we're not having influencers congresses necessarily, but we still have our influencers network. We hope to have influencers congress and events once the pandemic passes a certain phase and everything is considered safe. We don't know when that is, but whenever that is, we won't jump the gun, certainly. But we decided, well, we have this audience, we have these influencers, so let's try to do something regarding this coronavirus pandemic as well. And as we say, we reached out to our network, but as I believe also Behruz, we reached out to our influencers, and they're in many different countries, and we're asking them to send in videos, short videos about how their country is responding to the pandemic. So I hope that in a short amount of time, we'll have a view from various parts of the world that will be interesting for everyone what the situation is as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, you perfectly outlined who we are and what we were doing. And we really had a long-going plans, and we still do have them. We are not abandoning those plans. We're just adjusting our reality, adjusting our plans to reality. So we will definitely be doing World Influencers Network because it is something we like. It is something we believe from deep down within that there is a whole new generation of bloggers, travel-related bloggers and influencers and people that we call them opinion leaders. And they are so in sort of a segregated, right? They do whatever they want to do, and in most of the times they are up in there. So what our idea is to become like aggregation of them, creating an association of bloggers, which would actually benefit. Like it's a win-win-win situation for everybody. They will be taken care of. We will be doing a different world events around the world, and the destination is going to benefit. Influencers are going to benefit, and we're going to benefit. And that was the whole key, because we put the destination and bloggers' needs or influencers' needs above our need. So if those two parties are happy, we are happy. But definitely we have to put this into hold. So we said, okay, we have to pivot. We have to do something about it, and we have to make our pay back to society, and we have to serve. We have to think, what can we do at the moment? So with our own resources, me and Daniel are putting our own resources, let it be the money, time, our network, regardless. We are investing in this, I want to say. And this is our 150% the effort of our us and our team. There are 10 people behind this, and I really hope I'm really proud of the team. We pulled a really amazing conference, and I'm really sure that a lot of people are going to benefit from this. And Daniel, remember when we were speaking for the first time, we were saying, okay, let's do once, and maybe meanwhile it's going to be over and we're going to keep doing our World Influencers Congress. But it seems that it's here to stay, A. And B is that we got such a positive feedback. Like we reached out 200 people almost, and we selected among them who said, okay, we were very selective because we wanted really interesting opinions, really opinions that needs to be heard. And we have so many people left, and they were wanting to do it. So I think we have to do it, maybe give it a try in the next 2 to 3 months. What do you think about this perspective, Daniel?
Behruz, yes, definitely. Right, when we started this idea, of course, nobody knew the lengths that it would come to. And I should just say, I mean, I'm in New York with all the problems, though, but I got to say, the city is quiet. I've never seen the city. It's actually possible to go outside and hear the birds sing for the first time in Central Park even. But yes, I agree. And then we were thinking, well, we'll do this every 3 months. No, we've got to now, with this momentum and the way this is happening, and even when this is so-called over, and it will never really be fully over, there's going to be continuous need for this. So I think this is going to be a continuous effort, definitely, that we're going to continue on. And yes, we'll hope to hear more perspectives, more countries, more places, more different sectors, and so on. And as we say, we'll keep this running. This will be starting to post in a few days. We'll have audio format. We'll have video format. In the future, we may look at some point, these are pre-recorded, to having a live format as well. There's all kinds of possibilities out there. And so I think, the sky is the limit with this. And I continue to look forward to working on it. It's been excellent so far. And you're right, the team we've worked with has been fabulous. I certainly couldn't do it without the team, and I'm sure you feel the same. So
absolutely,
it's been very good, and we start to perfect all the logistics of it the more we do it. So I think definitely we want to continue with it, and we want to be a place that one of those places that people will turn to see how it's affecting economics, business, the politics and the policy side, the medical side, you name it, even sub categories, education, tourism, oil and gas, whatever it is, you name it, how it's going to affect things. So I think we will have a very good platform, and I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and remember, Daniel, one where we were always saying that, okay, once we up and run our business, because what I like about Daniel here is that he's very socially responsible guy. He's a socially responsible person. He is absolutely obsessed with SDGs. He is absolutely obsessed of doing good, doing good through a platform that regardless of the business. We could have started a lot of businesses in the last, over the time we known each other, isn't it? We could have started and thrive already, but we were very selective for what we're going to do. We were not running behind or after quick cash, but we were behind something meaningful and some legacy sort of, that anything we're going to create, regardless of what it is, we didn't know what we're going to do, is that it should serve people, and it should be definitely be helpful and paying back to community. I think we kind of found our niche. Doesn't matter how long it took. I don't care about the time. For me, it was a learning process, and we've learned tremendously from everything what we went through. And when we are trying to right now finding what we wanted to do the whole time. So this is why I like this platform. And what I'm leading it to is that we were always dreaming, okay, well, once we run and when we have a business which is running, we're going to come up with a think tank. We will have our think tank, because me and Daniel, we participate in many think tanks online. It could be it online or be it conferences around the world. We are obsessed with it because we do truly understand that networking is important, and cosmopolitan point of view in ideas, that we always want to and chase after thought leaders, innovators. We don't want to be the smartest people in the room. We always chase the room where we are not smart. So there is a ceiling to learn. And I think this is a quite interesting think tank, right? Don't you think it's becoming a beginning or like MVP of a think tank?
Yes, and can I just add, you know, we've been, as we say, we've been working for a few years, and that's right. We're not the smartest people in the room. We want to learn from people, and we want to share that. And that's why also, when this is done, this event and future events, we're going to not just have the full interviews that we're doing with our guests, but we're also going to be breaking down short 1 minute, as I understand, parts of their interview. What is the most important thing they said and what we learned from it? And we're hoping to see what we learned from our guests and write it up in a report as well, and continuously do that. So that will be there. And I should say, yes, we've been working together for a number of years, and certainly, if you'll you know, let me to even say that we started by writing the plan for what was called the Ministry of the Future in Uzbekistan, and the government actually accepted it as the Ministry of Innovative Development.
Yeah.
So we've been working on that. We learned a lot of things from that, and we've been continuing on that. And we have a lot of other innovation projects. As we say, some of them, the virus may completely change things and are not viable. And some projects that we're working on, actually, we need to push them quicker to fruition because the society needs them sooner rather than later. So this is something also, and Behruz is also extremely forward-looking, so it's easy to work with him to come up with these ideas and things and to move them forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel. Yeah, it was really interesting times when we were coming up with the Ministry of Innovation. It was the whole notion of idea that the only fuel that can last longer than any oil in the world is the innovation. So we wanted to deploy this ideology and the mindset to the country, and I think we succeeded. Our proposal was accepted, and Ministry of Innovation of Uzbekistan was created 2 years ago. And I'm proud of this because it was tireless work of 18 months. I remember like it was yesterday. We're reaching out to like 500 people from different parts, from Obama's administration to NASA to Australia to everywhere, who were reaching out and gathering the information and the knowledge of how to do it, what is the best practice. And I think it was a really good example. You brought it up. And definitely we're going to continue our serving to whatever we are for the greater good. And what I wanted to say also, coming back to World Coronavirus Virtual Conference, is that we thought that we're alone in this. At the beginning, me and Daniel, we thought, yeah, we're alone. We're just starting. No one is doing it. And soon enough, we found so many companies, so many startups, so many initiatives that being sparking around the world. And right now, we've been part of MIT research. We've been part of UNWTO. We are participating in the competitions. We are part of World Economic Forum competitions. Daniel, please tell me where else we are partnering up and being participating in with bigger organizations, because your role in here is bigger than mine.
Well, yes, we have, as I know, we applied. There were some competitions here that we applied. You mentioned some of them. Well, we applied. These are coronavirus pandemic initiative. I'm trying to remember now. Yes, there was.
There was World Economic Forum, definitely. There was the UNWTO, and there was MIT's, and there was a bunch. I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember too. It's something I think. Yeah. I'm trying to remember as well.
But what I'm trying to say is that it turns out that we're not alone, and right now we're happy that this initiative is growing, and we can be part of something bigger here. That bigger organizations are doing. I'm sure the COVID-19 and coronavirus will be the agenda for 2020. Doesn't matter what you are. Doesn't matter what sphere you are. Are you government, private sector, SME, startup, international organization? Regardless, it is going to be agenda. And if you do not correlate your business, your attitude, your policy, your thinking, and take into consideration coronavirus will eat you. Your business, your policies, anything what you're doing. If you are missing it from the whole picture, then you are missing the whole picture, isn't it?
Yes, and you know, I think if you'd like, I can give an example of a pivot. One of the projects that we're working on, if you'd like me to talk about the University of the Future.
Yeah, okay. bring it on, man.
Sure. Well, so we have an issue, for example, in Uzbekistan. There are about 900,000 high school graduates every year, okay? And there are under 100,000 university places in Uzbekistan. And many of them are in the capital, and the majority of students are coming from the regions of the country. So a lot of people are getting shut out, okay? Especially from regions. So what our idea was, and we've had this idea for a number of years, was to start an affordable national online university for Uzbekistan. Okay, now how an issue in any country is that a lot of people drop out of online. Okay, and you know, Uzbekistan is not. It's not the U.S. It's not Singapore. It's not going to have the same level of income. It's not going to have the same infrastructure. It's not going to have the same internet capacity and so on, especially in rural areas. And even in the U.S., we have problem hitting internet in rural areas as we're seeing now. So we decided, well, we're going to make this blended learning primarily online, and we'll start in the capital, Tashkent. But we would like to have mini campuses in the regions of Uzbekistan, at least in the regional centers. And these would be places where the students can study. So we can't necessarily get the last mile to the student's village, but the student could come at least to the regional center. And, you know, especially in the regions, parents who maybe don't want to send their kids to another country or to the city, they'll feel comfortable sending their student to the regional center. So the regional center will be well equipped with everything, including good internet, and they'll be able to socialize, they'll be able to study there, they're able to get tutoring there. We'd like to put a maker space there, co-working space, you name it there. What there is, maybe even have a dormitory or a hostel for some of the students as well. So we want to reach it out. So it's primarily online, but there will be a personal component to it, if you will. We'll have tutors there and so on. And this is something that, you know, has been dragging on. And now, you know, we really feel we have to start this September, because it turns out Well, the point of it, just to say, this would have been affordable, and this would start to allow people who didn't normally have access to higher education in Uzbekistan to get it. Now we need to really pivot and try to start at least on a pilot basis this September, because all universities are closed, at least it seems, for at least another month, and by then it seems probably to at least September. Many students from the regions have gone home to the regions from the capital, Tashkent, and so on. And so we think there's going to be a societal demand for this, for some, because who knows who's going to be able to start up again in September, how this will run. And even then, we see there's clearly a move in general, anyway, towards some online component, not fully online. And we don't know, you know, in the rest of the country, we've been preparing this for a few years, so we have a head start on everybody. So we think that we can roll out something, we hope, in September, and start as a pilot and build it up from there. So that's an example of how the coronavirus kind of changed plans and changed the timeline, so to speak.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, you're very right. Our educational project is moving. Hopefully, we have international partnership, we have international support, and we have not only the platform, which is, well, it's basic. Anyone can have the platform, but we have the know-how, we have the people who can run it, and we have actually the skills, mindset, and the skill set to make and deploy and to take the online education to a next level and to serve the needs. But we're going to definitely talk about that on our next time and what we are doing. And I hope we're going to soon enough to do a product launching. And I wanted to come back. Thank you making the point that actually we have to pivot. Everyone has to pivot the ideas. So this is the whole point of having World Coronavirus Virtual Conference, is to let people know that's a wake-up call. You have to wake up, and you don't wait. You shouldn't wait. You shouldn't sit at home. In next month, 2 months, world is not going to be the same place. Your business is not going to be the same place. Your school is not going to be the same place. The government you're working is not going to be the same place in 2 months. This coronavirus conference are knocking down everybody, and whoever realizes faster wins. So our idea to help you to win, to understand, to comprehend this, sleep on it, and make corrections to your future plans. So I think we can talk hours and hours, but I think we have touched the most important points. And from now on, you're going to see many more videos coming from business gurus, from the head of huge world organizations, from the head of huge airlines, from the head of the biggest think tanks, from the biggest businessmen, from the best experts in the field of medicine, education, economy, you name it. We brought those people for you, and you will have an amazing session. So please enjoy it, watch it, subscribe it. You can check more things on our website, worldinfluencerscongress.com. You can always check about World Coronavirus Virtual Conference at coronaviruscon.com. Coronaviruscon, which is short for conference.com. Please website and check us on our social media. Check us on Facebook. Check us on YouTube. Check us on Instagram. You will see all the relative information, and we will be feeding you with many stuff coming more. And thank you very much for supporting. Subscribe and be with us so we can help you. Daniel, I think in this high note, we should kind of resume our talk for next time. Thank you very much for you. And I know that the New York is the epicenter. I know that the United States become a biggest threat for now, and it is going very viral. I really hope that you stay healthy, and I really hope that we can overcome this very quickly, so we can resume our wonderful projects that are going to help people to have better livelihood and better chances. And I hope to see you in my office, in this office where we came up with many of our projects, and we're gonna hit the old street and eat some good plov and think about future. Thank you very much, my friend. Stay safe.
Thank you. Great. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind wishes, and keep doing what you're doing. It's a great pleasure to keep working with you, and let's continue.
Yeah, likewise, brother. Likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.